Yo, what's up guys? It's Pygoz here, the Crypto Pie, and today we're going to be talking about confirmation, guys, because a lot of you guys actually PM me and ask me like, so how do you enter a trade, right? And well, I can tell you guys, just like I said in my last video, that I don't use confirmation so much as you know, most people. There's a lot of people on YouTube, you know, between brackets, whatever, gurus, that whether it's in forex, in stocks, in options, that say wait for this setup, right? Let's just have an example. You know, that they're waiting for a perfect. So I'm just going to draw it, right? So like this, right? And then they're saying wait for a doji candle, right? Like or they call it a pin bar sometimes. So this is your candle, right? And then it needs to look like that. And then after that we buy. You know, you almost cannot believe this, but they will tell you to buy right after it goes higher than here. Okay, that's what some people say. So whatever, right? If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Now, and then some people even go as far as, yeah, you need to wait after that. You still need to wait because we want to have our green candles go, you know, 3 green candles after. So in this case, you'll be 1, 2, 3. You will buy up here, okay? Just to have some confirmation that you're going up again. In my opinion, that is crazy, because then they also talk about risk reward, right? So your risk reward would start here, right? And you would drag your obviously your stop needs to be under the low, so it needs to be under here. I'd say give it even some space, and then I mean to target even a 1-to-1, yeah, you would have hit it, okay? You would have hit it in this case, but you would definitely be struggling when you would go up a little bit and then down again, okay? In my opinion, that's crazy, okay? The way I trade, guys, and you all know it, I just use fibs, right? I just take my swing low, take my swing high. Guess what? Guess what I do, guys? Okay? I obviously look for price to get back to 618, right? This time it didn't. Simple. But where did it go? It did go in between the 618 and the 0.5 area. Am I scared to buy here? No, I'm not, right? I'm simply not. So let's say you buy anywhere in between here, okay? Now you're only risking, you know, and let's say you put it like under 6.5, you're risking 11% in this case, right? So let's say you buy at the 0.5, okay? So you're risking right around here to make, I mean, even a 1-to-1 it's not even that crazy high, right? So it's much better risk to reward. And obviously when you see the bounce and you know, you see yourself going up and you see a real low getting in, then you can even put your risk down here. So risk is something that evolves as well, guys. It's not something static, right? So now if you look at a 1-to-1, where's your 1-to-1? It's, you know, it's not even far up. So, and you can definitely be aiming way higher, because of the simple fact is that, well, what I always tell you guys is, right, so you take your swing low, right, with your trend-based fib extension, and then you go to your swing high, then you go back to your swing low, and you aim for around 1-to-1. Well, we never hit it on Ethereum, but guess what? Okay, so you don't hit it, but where are you now? You're still way higher than where you bought in, right? So maybe you didn't hit it quite there, but you are still technically, I mean, you still bounce off the 55 here. I don't think it will hold, but anyways, if you want, you can take profit anywhere in this area, even anywhere here, because you bought all the way down here, right? That's the big difference between waiting for confirmation or not, right? When you don't wait for confirmation, your risk to reward is much better, because you end up buying well, anywhere, let's say in between the 0.5, 618, right? This always, I call this a fairly, nothing's complete safe, guys, but this is a fairly safe area, right? All the way to here. right? So this is a fairly safe area to buy in. And you know, I can show you time and time again. Let's just take one random chart. I don't even care what I'm picking, right? I'm just gonna scroll, and we're just going to take ELF here. Okay, boom. Alright, so this is ELF. Right. So, well, once again, guys, we'll take our swing low to our swing high, right? Do we take this extreme high or this one? It doesn't even matter. Okay, so we take this one. Well, why do we buy, guys? Why do we buy in between? Alright, here's your save area, right? Here is your save area. Okay, it goes a little bit below it. Fine, fine, right? Maybe you took a loss. It depends on if you wanted to hold or not. But guess what happened after? Boom, right? So what I'm telling you is you don't need to wait for some confirmation, okay? Because confirmation, all it does, it gets you a very late entry. It doesn't matter which chart. Well, I mean, it will not work, right? So take Litecoin. You know, sometimes you won't even get your entry. All right, so boom, boom, right? High to low to high. Okay, so you get to 618. Great, right? So let's say you buy here. Okay, so now you bought here. Okay, so we're going to pretend you bought the 618. Okay, so excellent, right? 618, excellent. I would go all in there. That's my, you know, where I go big. You guys know it. This tiny little box is where I would go big, okay? Because it's a golden pocket, okay? I would not like even be thinking about that it's gonna be a loss, right? I know it can be a loss, but it's just very unlikely, all right? So so yeah, I would definitely take that trade. And in this case, you did get like your little doji, okay? But that's not always the case. So and that's only because we look at the 4 hour. If we look at the 1 hour, okay, so now we're looking at the 1 hour. Would you have bought this craziness here? Probably not, right? If you're just looking at it like that. So the way you can find your doji always is just go through all your time frames. At some point you will find some kind of doji, right? Well, some people will say like 1, 2, 3 candles later and you enter here. Okay, so it all depends on your strategy. But what I can tell you is that if you decide to buy without confirmation, is that more often than not, so let's say you bought here. Okay, so and you want to give it some space, right? After the 6.5, you give it some space, so you give it all the way down here. And you know, you can actually aim. Your 1-to-1 is already here, right? It's only a few candles later. So that's what I'm telling you, right? So we obviously can see we're in an uptrend. You know, after all these higher, it just went higher, right? So you simply want to buy that, and then just aim for that, okay? And then once you see the low, you can even be like, oh, you know, I'll put my stop just a little bit under, okay? And you obviously get an even better risk to reward ratio. So there's multiple things that is good for. It's obviously, you often get better entries, as I've shown you guys. Another big thing is you will get a lot more trades in, right? And more trades, because you will simply miss out on less than if you wait for confirmation. Because sometimes when you wait for confirmation, it just simply never comes and you're not in the trade, okay? And then you're missing this massive move, right? 41%. And even let's say you only took this, okay, that's 16%. So you're missing a move because you're waiting for confirmation. So what you can simply do is, and we're simply going back in the chart here, right? So boom, boom. All right, so obviously we still see it going up here. So you wait, right? You missed this move, okay? So I did that wrong, guys. Sorry about that. I need to actually do one candle at a time. Okay, so we're over here, and we'll do one candle at a time. Okay, so it's still going up, right? It hardly ever ends like that. So okay, so maybe Maybe downtrend starting. Okay, so yeah, downtrend's probably starting, right? So what can you do, guys? Well, you take your swing low, you take your swing high, all right, and you already tell yourself, I'm looking for an entry here in this box. Okay, I'm looking for an entry for a long in this box. Okay, and you're fully aware that you are ready to take a loss of about 10%. Okay, so and then that's what you need to tell yourself. And if you tell me that you don't want to take a loss of 10% or 5% in crypto, you know, I just have to tell you that crypto is way more volatile than most markets, and that you simply you kind of do need to look at those losses, because your wins are also much bigger. So you know, you take your trade anywhere in this box, right? Obviously we all know the result. You know, it gets into this box. Guess what? Well, you start scaling in here. I'm not telling you to go all in at the 0.5, never. All right, and then when it gets to 618, this is where you scale in bigger. Okay, and guess what? All right, trade works into your favor. All right, it works in your favor. No problem whatsoever. Right? And well, you know, the rest is history. We all know it. Okay, so and to take profit, it's all the way up to you, of course, as well. But that is how simple it is, guys. All right, so just right now, what am I looking for on Litecoin here? Okay, it's not that hard. It's not, you know, it's not rocket science. What am I looking for, guys? Right? Just think about that. What am I looking for here? So obviously we went up here again, right? Let's see, did we hit our 1-to-1? Okay, so we take our trend base whip extension. Boom, boom. Okay, we not really, right? Almost. So can I think that this is done as a 3-wave? Did it hit a 1-to-1? No. It's probably not done. We don't know that, but so then I'm going to count within this, right? So I know that the 3rd wave is starting here, so I would need to count it something like this. Okay, so maybe 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, so it's hard to think that this must be just a 3. Then probably a 4 is gonna get somewhere here, and then 5 is still getting to that 1-to-1. Okay, that's more of how I see it, right? And you have to see, you have to know how you see the market, right? So I want this hit. This is a 1-to-1. Okay, I do kind of want to see that getting hit before I think that this is done. Alright, so I know that it's going down right now. So where do I need to look? Okay, so what we just said is that this is my 1, this is my 2, then this is my 3, right? We still have a 4 somewhere, and then we have a 5. Okay, and I'm not saying the 5 will only get up there. It can definitely get higher, but this is just what I assume. Alright, I don't assume crazy highs, and this is definitely something that I would play. So well, what am I looking for, guys? Alright, so I simply take my Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so and we take the low of this 2, because we go from the 2 to the 3. Well, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a 0.5. Once again, guys, my box will be right here. Okay, and this is where I'll be looking for an entry. And what does this coincide with? This coincides with this high. Okay, now also I'm very well aware that somewhere around here something could happen, that we can already bounce from there, because there's the 382, and I might just scale in a tiny bit, right? And that's how you do it, guys. You ladder in very, very slowly here, because you do know that it can be a bounce, and you know, if you have a tiny bit in, that's fine as well, right? So let's say you have like 1/3 of your position, and you still make 14% on your 1/3, right? Now if you don't, and you scale in some more here, and you scale in some more here, you simply get that average of the 0.5, which is fine as well, right? So this is what I'm looking for, guys. Obviously this is my green area. This is where, you know, this is a much safer area than the 382, and you only need to be looking at a loss of a max. So I'm just going to plan this trade out, right, with you guys here. All right, so the 0.5, let's say your entries are right here. You put your stop a little bit on the 6.5, and you aim up here. Okay, so you have a risk reward of 2.77, and if you only hit risk for the old highs, you have a 1.94. It's still good. All right, so you have a maximum drawdown of 6.66% on your account, with a potential gain of 18.45% to this complete line, all right, to finish this whole fifth wave. But we do know that a fifth wave can be truncated and can actually be just the old highs, so you also need to be aware of that. All right, but like I said, guys, if it starts bouncing, then you put your low, your stop under the low. Let's say it bounced already here. Okay, you don't know. You just don't know. You just need to have yourself a buy area, and this is where you can already, right now, I already have my orders set here. I'm not afraid, right? I'm not waiting for some kind of pin bar or whatever, or doji to form. I just go in, all right, guys? And that's just something important that I have to tell you, all right? So I don't want you guys to just think like, I need confirmation, I need confirmation. All right, the big traders don't use confirmation, guys, because you're way too late to the trade. Can you imagine, all right, in like Forex, that the banks are waiting for confirmation, you know, or the big hedge funds? No, they just place their orders way before. Whether they do this based on Fibonacci, or whether they do this based on like old highs or lows, they already have their orders sitting there. Right, and that's basically what I'll end this video with. All right, guys, so that is how I trade, and that's how you will trade as well. And when you start trading, when you are very new to trading, I'm sure you will use only the dojis, because you want to have certainty in the market. And I can tell you right now that there's no certainty in the market, right? You are never 100% sure. You will always need to be to think like, I'm going to lose this, right? I'm fine with losing 6% on my total account, or 5%, or whatever. Let's say your total, once again, we go back to an example, right? Let's say your total that you want to lose is only 5% on your total account. Well, if you would enter on the 382 with your entire account, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you would, and you want to put your stop under the 6.5, well, since that's 10%, then you only want to risk 5%. You can only trade with half your account size, okay? Because that would still give you a drawdown of only 5% on your total account, right? And that's also kind of how you need to look at it. All right, guys. So, anyways, that's just a video I have on that. All right. So, yeah, do with it what you want, but that is how I see it. All right. Also, guys, I have a Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Pygoz. Check it out for yourself. Check out if you want to become a Patreon yourself. And, you know, if you want to become a Patreon, that's awesome. You will get your rewards like through PM on either Patreon or on Telegram or on Discord. Okay, you just need to send me a PM that you want some charts looked at. All right, that's all you get. There's no real huge benefit to it. It's more like just supporting me than anything else. All right, guys, and that is just you know, that'd be nice. All right, so also, guys, I have a Telegram for you guys to join up with. Join up with the CryptoPygoz blog, where you can ask me any question, ask other people questions. And it's just a great chat box to be in, right? Let's see what's going on here. Nothing all that much, right? So I said about Litecoin that we could potentially get one more swing up, a tiny swing. We simply didn't. But what you could also see is that, you know, the 3 is kind of almost in, right? And it wasn't, right? And it also showing you with a rising wedge. So right now we're simply correcting, right? And that's how it is. My shorts didn't get hit because I obviously thought we still had one more tiny wave up, but that's fine. I'm already looking for longs, right? Shorts would only be a little counter trend trade anyways, right? I'm simply looking for longs at the areas that I just shown you in this confirmation video, right? Confirmation is not all that, is not the holy grail, right, guys? So yeah, that is how it is, right, guys? So join up with that. Also join up with the CryptoPygoz feed, where I post all my videos, post about upcoming ICOs, STOs, etc. But at the moment, just don't expect any ICOs or STOs, because the market is still bearish, right? And when the market is bearish, you will simply not make a profit, but you will make a loss instead. And I don't want you guys to end up with a loss, so I'm not promoting any ICOs at the moment. I'm not telling you to go into anything. Alright guys, so join up with both that. Alright. Also follow me on Twitter, which is twitter.com/Pygoz, and follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Pygoz. Both telegrams will be in the description below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that post notification button, and if you got any questions at all, leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.